I guess we'll start off like, who are you?
My name is Pernell. My name is Pernell Anderson, aka the Fashion Don. I do a bunch of custom arts pieces for people. As of right now, I do commission work, so I do shoes, clothing, book bags, anything that you can really imagine, any surface. Then that's pretty much what I do.
Within this all, like what's kind of the biggest thing when it comes to creating?
For me, my ultimate goal would just be to get more like art in general, as in, like for instance, in school, they trying to take it out. So for me, I think art should be on the level as in for music and for doing reading, math, all this stuff. I think it's really up there to be more creative and get your mind flowing.
Absolutely.
So as a young kid, it can help just to figure out what you want to become in life, or I don't know, I just want art to just be more of a impact in life, and people realize what art can actually do instead of just drawing. Because I mean, that's the first thing people did was like cavemen and stuff. There was no words, there was nothing like that. The first thing to do was drawing. So it's in everybody, and I think if we move more towards art and stuff like that, it can open people's mind to being more generous and being more, just a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
go deep into
absolutely. That's really awesome. How did you kind of get into the art world and drawing? When did you start? What was that kind of like for you?
Me, art was just, it was not forced upon me, but kind of forced upon me, just because growing up in New York, my mom, it was me, my mom, and my oldest sister. And my mom, she had a girlfriend, so I pretty much had two moms. And my mom and my second mom was both into drawing. So as I was growing up, they wanted me to stay out the streets a lot. So pretty much they just had me draw a lot. I would start by just drawing a bunch of my favorite cartoon characters and anything that I pretty much saw. And then I pretty much went to copying, like, my favorite, I remember like the Little Rascals. Let's say the Little Rascals. What is it called? The Rugrats.
Yeah.
Like the books, all the little books that they had. I used to copy them, like not trace it, but just look at it and try to make it identical to that. And I started making like my own little books. Started doing. I never finished them.
Yeah.
But it was just like I started writing my own little stories to it or whatnot. And then it kind of just grew on me for the most part.
Yeah.
It was just in school, I would get in trouble just drawing. School was easy, so it was like I was still listening, so they couldn't say shit because I was drawing, but they would be like, oh, what's this question, da da da, and then I would answer it and they'd be like, oh, there's nothing I can really do. So after that, I was just
absolutely. So then I guess your approach to a piece of work is a little bit different than it was, back in the day when you were just kind of looking at things and drawing. How do you approach drawing a new piece of work or coming up with a new idea when it comes to painting?
That's always I was trying to figure out can I answer that one. So I mean, normally, like as of right now, I'll be trying to really just let it just come off the dome and just go crazy. So it's like, if I, for instance, say if I have 2 to 3 projects that I'm working on at the time, I don't really try to focus on one of them. I try to just think about, in general, just a variety of just a whole bunch of stuff just throughout the day. I might be I like to observe a lot. So me looking at all this right now, all this that I'm looking at can come back to me later. I kind of just let it flow and just let it really come to me. Unless it's like my customer gives me an idea, and then I pretty much just go off that, just whatever I'm thinking at the time, whatever the shoe looks like. So for instance, these shoes right here, I might use the straps, like just look at the straps, look at the way this pulls like that, just this circle, just a whole bunch of different things. Maybe this material, the color right there, and just kind of put it all together and kind of make it one entire shoe. It doesn't really look like a custom. It looks like they got it from the store. So it's more, I might add little accents or change up the part of the shoe that nobody can normally change it up. So it's like a little bit different than what normal people do. So I would say I just really I really just try to be observative around me. Don't try to be so closed-minded with one idea. Like, whenever I think of my first idea for a shoot, I never really go off the first one. I always try to bounce off that. So whatever my first idea is, I try to think of something that's complex. So it's like, it's a little different.
Yeah.
Because normally, it's like, if you ask somebody to customize something, right? I'll say the first few things that they're gonna think about is like flowers, women, like the women's body, and then maybe shapes or something like that. But those are like the three things that come to my head off rips, is like plants and stuff like that, nature, women's bodies, and then just, I don't know, anything. I'm trying to think with off tops, like whatever you think of off tops, just try to escalate.
Yeah, absolutely. Where do you kind of see yourself in the future, like within 5 years, with your creative process?
5 years. 5 years, I see myself have a mini structure of my franchise business. So having a team where we're just creating a bunch of dope art pieces and clothing, and we're really just trying to figure out what's the next step to get us to the big leagues, just to get us to around the world and just traveling, doing a lot of just pretty much just doing art. It's the same thing I'm doing right now, but just more fun. Right now I do a lot of commission works. I'm trying to build it. 5 years, hopefully I've already got my funds and I'm just having fun at that point. I know it's soon, but it's like, I think it can happen.
Do you have any advice for people that are just kind of starting out when it comes to being creative or tapping into their creativity?
I would definitely say, like, this might sound corny, but that go whatever your mind is saying. Like, if you think that somebody else, other people won't like it, that's not what you're supposed to be doing at all. It's like, if you're really trying to create something that's different or create something that's you haven't really seen before, it's best off to just be feeling it, and just, if you think of something, write it down. Like, I like to write a lot of my stuff down, because you think of most of your things when you don't have the paper in front of your face, or you might just be on the street. So I just really say, jot down your ideas. Just really, I don't know, just be more open-minded to a lot of things. Like, even if you're not interested in some religion, or if you're not interested in doing certain things, still try to engage into it, because you might see something in the store that you might like. You might see something that you, I don't know, just click in your mind. You're like, oh snap, I know exactly what to do. I know exactly what I want to do. So just trust the process too. Also,
absolutely.
Just go with your gut.
What would you say some essential items for an artist would be?
Essential items. Got them right here. All my essentials. First, you gotta have a backpack. You feel me? It's a Fashion Dons / Vans. They're a little collab. You feel me?
Yeah, that's hard. It's like a matrix on there. That's tough.
And this actually says something, like the coding.
Oh, really?
Added some, like, a bunch of letters into it, but I mixed it with like Japanese and a bunch of stuff.
Oh.
Like,
how long did it take you to do that?
Not long, honestly. Probably a few hours. Probably like 3-4 hours time.
I have to go get one myself. Shit, that's hard.
I still have to take photos to see if everybody fucks with it. But yeah, you gotta get your backpack. So get your bag. If you need one, go on the Fashion Don website. Go get it's fashiondon.squarespace.com.
Okay, cool.
I'll put it down below. But first off, you gotta have my books, my sketchbooks, and my books. This one is for more clothing. So my next drop that I want to do, like my first drop ever, actually, that's what I want to have. So whenever I think of ideas, and I always have my books. I do this for a lot of tattoos. Yeah, I just make sure I keep my books on me, my sketchbooks. You know, a lot of this is for a lot of just sketching. But notebooks, paintbrushes. Gotta keep the paintbrushes on me. I wanted to bring paint, but like there's not a lot of space, so I bring water paint instead. So to be more creative, it's all you need is a little bottle top for some water. I can be painting.
There we go.
On my freaking, what's the nigga, Rock Lee
Yeah.
Take off my weights, you feel me? But yeah, they go on my pencils and whatnot. Like, make sure I got all that I need. Some erasers. I ain't got a camera, but I got an extra phone, so I just make sure my extra phone on me just because I gotta post something else or record something. And glass case and some water. Make sure you keep watering.
Yeah, you gotta keep hydrated.
I
think I'll wrap it up here, but I want to close off with what are your 3 major goals for 2021, and what are you kind of looking forward to for the rest of the year, being that we're only in February?
3 major goals, I would say, for this year is to, first I'll just say, do better than I did the day before. Off rips, not to be corny, but do better than I did before.
No, it's important. It's important to get better every day, man.
Exactly,
it's important.
Like 1%, shit. Oh yeah, make sure, so with my days, I want to at least make sure I do one thing that can benefit my business later on.
Mm-hmm.
If it's drawing a sketch for something, even if it's making a logo, even if it's any little thing, make sure I can go to sleep that night and be like, okay, I benefited myself this day and I made sure I did one thing. Even if I didn't go outside and do nothing crazy, make sure you just use your days wisely. And then another one, I would say, meet some impactful people this year. Hopefully I definitely do that. Some people that can just knock me up to the next milestone.
And then you have any
richer.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You got any closing statements you want to say before we kind of wrap up the conversation?
Message to the youth. Wear your mask. And don't think you have to settle for like the normal society of working and being I call it a slave to society, because that is, but don't think you have to maintain this persona of your parents or anybody else. Know that this is your life. Don't go out there and do nothing stupid. Know that this is your life, and know that if you put the same amount of energy and time into a 9 to 5 or anything else that you're doing, if you really have that mind state to go forward and push it and do what you got to do, then go for your goals. Like, no lie. Just make sure you never quit with it. Make sure all the struggles, like, no matter how hard it gets. I'm not even anywhere but as of right now, but I've only been doing it for a year or two, and I feel like where I've gotten, I'm satisfied. Not completely satisfied, but I know that I'm moving forward. So as long as you know you're making progression and you're moving forward and you're doing what you got to do with your goals, then you're going to get there regardless. So I would just say, don't be forced to, just be in a society where you just have to.
For sure. Good shit.